A Torx socket is required to remove these three securing bolts. Once the bolts are undone, they can be used to draw out the spacer as shown. The pulley can then be easily withdrawn. For procedures such as setting the engine timing and removing the fuel injection pump, the cover will need to be removed. Always replace the gasket with a new one. Setting the engine to top dead centre firing number 1 can be achieved by first rotating the crank until the cam gear timing hole aligns. A pin can be inserted here to ensure alignment, but it's purposely not a tight fit to allow installation of the gear with the pin installed. The C6.6 crankshaft locking pin is fitted through the side of the block into the crankshaft web. Access is gained by removing the blanking bolt. The timing pin should be inserted as shown. Turn the crank until the pin drops in the slot and ensure the pin is fully located by trying to turn the crank by hand. The C4.4 crankshaft is locked using a pin through the front of the housing, the same method as the Tier 2 3054 engine. Before removing the fuel injection pump, the engine and the pump must be locked in position at top centre, firing number 1. First set and lock the engine, as described in the section setting engine at top dead centre. Then lock the pump. In order to lock the fuel injection pump, loosen the locking screw, slide the spacer into position to allow the locking screw to be torqued against the shaft of the pump. Apply sufficient pressure to the fuel injection pump gear to remove the backlash. Lock the fuel injection pump in this position. A puller will be needed to remove the fuel pump gear. The 3 retaining bolts have sealing washers which must be replaced. Remove the bolts from the support bracket last. The pump can then be removed. When refitting the fuel injection pump, loosely fit the set screw to the elongated hole at the bottom bracket to hold the pump in place. Then fit the 3 set screws in the front of the pump. Be sure to use new sealing washers. Now fit the remaining set screws in the bottom bracket and torque all remaining set screws. Before fitting the fuel injection pump gear, ensure that the taper for the pump and the gear are clean. The spring washer should be replaced with a new one. Align the gear, then remove the backlash counterclockwise before tightening the nut. The locking screw can now be loosened, the spacer moved in position and the screw retorqued. The crankshaft locking pin can now be removed and the blanking plug replaced.